It's 85 degrees, and that only means summer has just begun. And that leads us into the Summertime Movie Review Show. I'm your host, James, alongside me always his.
I'm Andy.
We ask you all once again to join us as we become Legend of the Nerds. Afternoon, Andy.
How you doing?
It's nice outside, huh?
Better in here, nice and cool in here.
You know, this weather always hits me because sometimes it gets too muggy. You just can't walk outside.
Exactly.
What's the best thing to do when you can't walk outside?
Sit on my butt and watch some movies.
And watch some movies.
Good time movies.
That's why we're here today, is to discuss all the summertime movies coming out from June 1st all the way to August
30th.
31st.
Yep.
Something like that. The end of the month.
End of the summertime.
Let's jump right into it because we have a crap load of movies to go over, Andy. Starting June 3rd, we're looking at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Out of the Shadows.
I am very excited for this movie.
Are you?
Well, I mean, I was excited for the first one. I went out, saw it right off. Got the nice little tin case here right off.
You did?
I think it's because I'm such a big Turtles fan that it's hard for me to nitpick it. There are the few, like you said too, why do the Turtles have to be 10 feet tall? I mean, the big thing with this movie that I'm excited for, and I think you are too, even though you're not big on these movies, is the whole Stephen Amell addition to this movie as Casey Jones.
Absolutely. But seriously, you did nail it in the head. You enjoy this movie because you're a fan of the Turtles. So it really shouldn't matter how the Turtles are portrayed to us on the screen. If you're a fan, you're going to love it. That's what makes you a nerd, Andy. That no matter what they look like, they could have done better, yes. But for you, you love it. And that's why they keep making the movies.
Exactly.
Because guys like you keep seeing the movies.
I think what's going to bring a lot of people to see this movie compared to the first one, though, too, is it's literally bringing back all the characters we grew up watching the 80s and 90s version of the cartoon.
Yeah.
With Shredder getting Beep Bop and Rocksteady.
Yep.
And his name's Kang, the alien. I can't
Krang.
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 I always forget the R. I mean, they're even bringing him in, which is pretty neat.
Here's my favorite addition to this movie is Baxter Stockman. The guy who invented all the mousers that rock around. Yeah, he's coming to this movie. Tyler Perry's playing him, which is great. I always enjoy watching Tyler Perry do a part in a movie where he's not cross-dressing as a woman.
Where he's not making his Tyler Perry movies?
He is such a phenomenal actor when he's in a drama or a serious role. I'm not sure if you saw Alex Cross back in the day.
I've never seen it, but I know of the movie.
One with him and Matthew Fox. He was phenomenal in that movie, and I know he's going to bring that same performance to this movie.
Well, I think he does a much better job, like I said, when it's not his movie and he's the star of the role.
Right.
I think he puts out more realistic character when he's a co-cast.
Yeah. I mean, like, he was starring Alex Cross. He was amazing, so he's gonna bring it to the table.
It wasn't a Tyler Perry Presents movie. That's why.
Yeah, probably.
So.
But this movie is rated PG-13. It is 112 minutes long, and it's directed by Dave Green. Don't remember what else he's done.
It's one of those things.
Do you know who directed the first one?
Not without.
I wonder if Dave Green did the first one too. Give me a quick second. Do you know what this movie's gonna be about?
Oh, I mean, from what we've seen, the Turtles are now kind of out there. People know about them. After what happened at the end of the first one with Shredder and the New York skyscraper coming down, people kind of don't want to, I think, believe they're around, but the Turtles are out there. They're still fighting some of the Foot Clan we see in the preview. And Shredder comes back, like we said. We get to see the first on-air movie of Rocksteady and Beep Bop.
Which is fantastic.
Which they were supposed to, from what I've read, be in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Secret of the Ooze movie. Instead, we got Tokka and Reza.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the Tokka and Reza characters. They're pretty neat. But it was supposed to be Beep Bop and Rocksteady. It would have probably been a little better, I think, with Beep Bop and Rocksteady. But we didn't get them, so I think that's what most people are excited to see.
Dave Green touched on him. He also directed Echo to Earth, or Earth to Echo. Excuse me. I'm not sure you saw that one.
Never seen
That
it.
was actually a really good movie about an alien. It was kind of like E.T. but a robot. Mm-hmm. It was a real good movie. So if that's his directing style there, you're gonna see a pretty good movie directing style here as well.
I mean, I've enjoyed the trailers lately. Like right in the beginning when they're going through the freeway, fighting the Foot Clan. Mm-hmm. That was pretty entertaining, I thought, because they're taking a lot from the cartoon back when we were growing up
Yep.
with some of the things, like the van with all the little gizmos that Donatello added to
Yeah,
it.
the tail van. Yeah.
So I mean,
Yep. So that actually is it for June 3rd, unless you have something else.
that's the big one for me. I mean, there are other movies obviously out there that
Not
come
on your
out.
list?
Yeah, but they're not.
Okay.
I think there's a lot more movies probably, but they're those low budget that
We're only in June, so we have a long way to go on this trip.
Exactly.
Let's jump to June 10th. Starting off with, I have in my list, The Conjuring 2. Mm-hmm. Did you see the first one?
I've seen bits and pieces. I'm not a big horror fan.
Okay.
I have family members that own all these movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Conjuring 2, it's what you got in the first one. From what I've read, it's same actors and actresses in it. It's just
Okay.
literally starting up from where it ended in the first one.
So it's the same actors and actresses in the first as the second one. Not a lot of big deaths happened in the first one, so to make a good storyline.
Well, what it is from what I read, is the two main characters are paranormal investigators.
Okay.
So from what happened in the first one, now they're going over to England to do basically the same thing.
Right.
From what I've seen in the previews, it looks a lot more creepier than the first one.
Okay, so it sounds like it's going to be about Lorraine and Ed travel to North London to help a single mother raise 4 children alone in a house plagued with spirits.
Yes, and these spirits are very vengeful from what I've seen in the previews.
Oh, is that right?
There's a scene that one of the creepy scenes is like chicks walking down the hallway and there's this dead old lady kind of creeping up on her in the dark hallway, and then this little girl another scene screaming top of her lungs from her other side of her door, and you just see the door open a little bit and the parents and everything are holding on to her hands trying to get her through the door, and then you just see these gray hands go across her face and drag her into the dark bedroom.
no.
I mean, it's some creepy stuff.
So it's a horror movie. On this list, I'm not sure about yours, but mine, I have quite a bit of horror and thrillers coming out this summer. Do you know why that is?
I don't know. You'd think they'd come out more in the fall.
Here's
Makes
why
more sense.
I think that it is. Because when they come out, it's going to be around Halloween when they hit DVD, Blu-ray. So that's a good time to buy the movies around Halloween with the horror movies coming out. So it's pretty good strategy to release the movies in the summer to have them come out on DVD and Blu-ray in the...
There's some
Halloween
times where
time.
it doesn't make sense to me. Like in our springtime edition that we had earlier, a couple months ago, there was a movie called Mother's Day. But it came out like a month before Mother's Day. I'm like, why not have it around Mother's Day? It's the same thing
Yeah.
with Friday the 13th this year comes out for a fall movie. It comes out, I think, in September. I would have made it more in October.
But you gotta understand what other movies come out around that time before. I mean, when did Civil War come out? Right around Mother's Day.
Okay.
Imagine if Mother's Day came out around there with Civil War. Guess what? Not seeing
True.
Mother's Day. Because everyone's watching Civil War. Next movie on my list is Now You See Me Too.
We are both excited for this. You can call it a cult classic, the first one, I would say now. I mean, I watched that when it came out. I watched that multiple times. And I'm not the type of person to go and see the same movie back to back, kind of. But this, I mean, I had to see it again just because it was so intriguing. It was
A lot going on that movie. But hold on for 1 second. I messed up. The Conjuring 2, it is rated R. It is 133 minutes long. I forgot to add that in there. So let's move on. Now You See Me Too. You were saying about it.
It was just the whole thing about magicians, basically. That's what caught my eye, is all these with the Four Horsemen each having their own special magical
Ability.
trait.
Yeah, exactly.
Was
yeah,
what
yep.
was really exciting instead of everyone having the same thing. So it kind of broadened your horizon on the magical trait.
You know what the best addition to this movie is?
Daniel Radcliffe for you.
Daniel Radcliffe. You got that right.
Which, from what I've watched and seen and read about this, is he's a villain in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
because it's going on saying that when they make their escape at the end of the first one, he played a part in helping them escape because he uses technology instead of magical powers.
That's
Kind of
science.
exactly. My biggest thing I hate about this is the recast. You had originally the Isla Fisher, who played the female Four Horsemen.
Okay.
Now it's Lizzie Kaplan.
Yep.
And it's not even the same character's name. They just totally replace her. So
Well, hopefully they
they explain it.
explain it in the movie. Hopefully.
Exactly.
But that's the only recast, though, right?
That is.
Yeah, that's the only recast.
You literally have everybody the same.
But remember, in the first movie, there was that character and I think
Jesse Eisenberg's character were
they were feuding. So there's probably something happened there.
could be.
It's probably something that.
If they don't explain it, I will be very upset.
I'm sure they will. So this movie, it is rated PG-13, 115 minutes long. I'm super excited about it because I love Daniel Radcliffe. That's one of my reasons why I want to see this.
Big Harry Potter fan?
No, I'm a big Daniel Radcliffe fan.
Okay.
He's a fantastic actor. He's done a lot of crap out there, a lot. Mm-hmm. And it's more than just the Harry Potter stuff.
Exactly. He's trying to spread his wings away from the Harry Potter, I believe.
Yeah, and I hope he does it. I mean, the guy's a great actor. Mm-hmm. He has the skills. Up next, same day,
Warcraft we've got.
June 10th, Warcraft comes out as well. So now we're going to have Now You See Me and Warcraft coming out the same day. Mm-hmm. How do you think they're going to clash?
I actually see opening weekend Warcraft trampling. Now You See Me.
Do you?
Yeah, and that's not some word pun because obviously there's a lot of trampling going on in Warcraft with the orgs. But the reason is because for the end of spring we had just come out this past weekend was, for instance, X-Men Apocalypse. We talked about this earlier before today. It got horrible reviews, but people are so excited to see it. It's going to make bank. And with Warcraft, you got to remember.
Well, it's going to make bank an opening weekend, but I'm sure the number's going to fall down.
True, but what I'm getting at is which do you see is going to do better opening week or weekend? Warcraft has such a huge following because this game is just, it's like a cult, basically, cult following. I mean, this game's been going on for 10, 15 years. Mm-hmm. And every year comes out with another one. People spend $50 on buying the game and then $20 on a monthly
expansion pack and stuff.
Well, then you got to spend like a $10, $20 monthly subscription.
Which is crazy, right?
So this movie, it may suck, but it's gonna blow some box records, I believe. Opening
week.
So? I think so. Now You See Me 2 will do good, but going up against Warcraft is gonna be hard.
And we don't see The Conjuring toppling any of it?
God, no.
No? All right.
I don't think horrors get as big as you would expect.
For me, horror is such a different thing. Because you have your scary movies, then you have your scare jump movies. Those movies that like make you jump once in a while. Mm-hmm. A good horror movie for me is actually going to be more of a suspense movie.
Yep.
Like The Fog. That was a nice suspense movie. Because you didn't know what was going on throughout the entire movie. It wasn't really predictable.
Mm-hmm. It's like, for instance, using that as an example, the Paranormal Activity movies, those were like a cult classic. There were 5 or 6 of them in a row. They're done now, but they didn't make the millions and millions of dollars that you would think. People enjoyed going and see them, but it's a horror.
Yeah.
Horror doesn't get the I'm not a horror fan, but I don't think horror gets the following that it used to maybe back in the 80s.
Right.
With the Halloweens and the Friday the 13th.
Yeah, horror definitely took a huge nosedive, I think. Mm-hmm. I'm not really a big
I think
fan
once
of
the millennium came rolling around and you started getting more CGI and stuff like that, horror went downhill.
Because honestly, to me, gore does not mean scary.
No.
And there's too much gore in these horror movies to be scary at all. That's why suspense is way more scary than gore.
Mm. But Warcraft, what do you think? You just watched the trailer not too long ago.
I did just watch the trailer. It doesn't look very entertaining.
It reminds me a lot.
It really does not look anything at all.
Reminds me a lot of like Lord of the Rings kind of thing. You got your orgs, you got your humans, you got your dwarves, you got your elves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, hopefully the storyline packs up and makes a good, impact in the theaters. But it's too much CGI. It's too much animation going on.
Yep.
But I mean, like, they have some big names in this movie, which is kind of weird. They have Ben Foster in this movie, Dominic Cooper, Travis Fimmel. And some big names for this kind of movie. So hopefully they can put on a good performance to make the movie go.
I think that after this year, with getting Warcraft, and later in the year we get Assassin's Creed in the fall, these two movies need to set the tone for this new generation of movies, because we've just gone through the last 10 years or so here, 10, 15 years, the comic book era, I call it, in movies.
Of course.
And we're still going through it. But now we're getting to the beginning of the video game era.
Yeah.
Where you're taking now these popular cult classic video games and making them into movies. And this is probably where it's going to start, I think. Where you're getting some of those big name titles, and they need to pan out.
They got to have a storyline. Without a storyline, you just have crap on a screen. That's all you have. So if your prediction that this is the first movie to that era, they have a high pedestal to go up on, because it's not going to be easy. Because back in '93, we tried the video game era with movies already. Street Fighter and Mario Brothers and Mortal Kombat. They just didn't pan out as well as we hoped they would.
And I know you're not, like you just said, you're not a big fan of the CGI thing, but a lot of people are, so maybe that's what the video game era now needs, is the CGI.
Hopefully.
Because look at it this way. If this pans out, we might get that Legend of Zelda movie everybody's been wanting.
I don't ever want to see it.
No?
I don't want them to destroy it.
It's going to be destroyed just like Dragon Ball?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I heard that you're going to redo Dragon Ball again.
I'd see it.
I would too. But again, I mean, just like Turtles, I don't care what anybody says. I'll watch Evolution all the time because I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, I just love watching that kind
Same
of stuff, Even though I know it was crap.
Well, except for the whole James Masters as Piccolo.
That was great casting.
He wanted to come back again. So.
That was great casting. All right, do you have anything else for June 10th?
That's it for me.
That's it for you. All right, let's move to June 17th. I'm going to start this off with a Disney's Pixar movie.
Oh, jeez.
Finding Dory.
Yeah.
Did you watch the show for this?
I've watched the trailer. I've watched Finding Nemo. Everyone, I think, seen Finding Nemo.
Yeah. Do you think this is Finding Nemo but in reverse?
I think it's just Finding Nemo straight. It's the same. From what I've seen, it's the same thing as Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
I mean, I think even Dory runs into characters that Nemo ran into.
She might have.
I think she goes into a fish tank, for crying out loud.
Does she really?
I think so. Yeah, because
That's
there's a hand that
crazy.
grabs her or something.
Oh.
I mean, I wasn't a fan of Finding Nemo because, to me, Finding Nemo when it first came out was the end of good cartoon movies to me. Because growing up with the good Disney movies that we grew up with, to now, I mean, we've talked about cartoons today sucking pond water.
Okay.
I mean, they're horrible. Except for, I thought it might change when we got Wreck-It Ralph. That was an amazing movie.
I liked Wreck-It Ralph.
So Finding Nemo, I mean, to me, it seemed to draw itself out too much. The only thing I joke about with that movie is the seagulls doing the whole mine thing.
I wonder if they do it again.
I don't know if they do it in this, but yeah, I mean, from what I've seen and read, Dory, we all know Dory is very forgetful. And she wants to find her family, so.
Yeah, that's the whole genre of the movie, is that she wakes up, she's like, oh, I have a family. I remember I have a family.
Exactly.
And then she takes off in the middle of the night, and then...
I think Nemo and his father go after her or something.
Yep, I think that's exactly what happens. The cast is back, I think.
Yep.
No one really changed.
Nope.
Ellen DeGeneres is in it, which is fantastic. She's so funny.
Yeah, I believe when I watched it, all the cast is the same. They all sounded about the same, so.
Yeah. But this one is, PG, and I don't have a running time for it.
You need, even though I might disregard this movie, it is one of those you need to have in the summer movies for kids to see too.
Yeah.
So, and it is. It's
going to be cute, Andy. It's going to be a cute movie.
Exactly. I mean, it's a Pixar movie, so.
All right, up next is, I think, a high hope for you, I think.
Very
It's,
high hope.
Central Intelligence,
Yes.
starring Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart. Ugh. Why do we keep casting him?
People think he's funny.
He's not. Have you listened to his stand-up?
No, and I don't ever plan on listening to it.
It is not. It's not pretty.
I mean, even like, have you ever watched Ride Along? And now they have Ride Along too.
No, I never seen Ride Along.
Okay, the only reason I
That
watched
one
that.
with Ice Cube. Is that
Yes.
the Will Ferrell?
No, that's Ice Cube.
Okay.
The Will Ferrell one is Get Hard, which was hilarious.
Okay.
That's the only reason I watched Ride Along is because of Ice Cube being like a badass cop kind of thing.
Ice Cube's funny. Ice Cube's funny.
So, to me, what this movie kind of reminded me of was 21 Jump Street. You got Rock, who's like, what's his name? Channing Tatum's character. This
Okay.
big buffy guy.
Yep.
And then you got Kevin Hart, the little weakling, which was Jonah Hill. That's almost what it reminded me of.
Speaking of Jump Street, did you hear what they're doing with Jump Street now?
Yeah, making it into with Men in Black.
Yeah, they're mixing the two genres
Which is
together.
stupid.
How is that gonna work?
I don't know. We'll get it in another year or two, I think, comes out.
Is that when it comes out? No,
Yeah, it's 2017 or 18.
I'm kind of hoping they can it.
I do too. But let's get back on Central Intelligence.
All right.
This movie, it's something different with Rock. He's now all of a sudden doing comedies instead of actions too.
Well, he's done comedy before.
He has,
Remember
but-
Get Smart?
Yeah, but to me, that was more of a Steve Carell movie.
Well, he was in it.
I know, but what I'm getting at is he's kind of trying to do this. Let me do some funny movies because we're gonna get a Baywatch movie, which is pretty funny. It's a different side to Rock.
His game plan.
This is true, but that's more family oriented, I think. But what makes this movie was was the trailer when he introduces himself to Kevin Hart's character and he goes, "Remember me? I was Fat Robbie," and he does the little singing skit inside the shower.
Right.
That was hilarious, and it's something that I think Rock's trying to pull off. Is this? Look at me, I'm
Hilarious
this
guy.
Exactly.
He can do it. I think he can do it.
Yeah. So I mean, from what I've read, it starts off basically Kevin Hart's character is the big man on campus kind of thing in high school.
Okay.
This is why it reminded me of 21 Jump Street because
Alright.
Channing Tatum was kind of even though the character's back and forth, but kind of took some plot references from the movie, I think.
All right.
So he's big man on campus, just becomes a lonely accountant, where Rock's character, Robbie, becomes this badass CIA agent. They meet each other at their high school reunion, and then he needs his help solving a case, Rock does, and just basically goes balls to the walls against all these guys, and Kevin Hart's there for the ride. So, I mean, it looked good.
I've seen the trailer, and for me, The Rock does push the movie along. So I think it might be worth seeing, honestly. But this movie is rated PG-13 with a running time of 114 minutes, which seems to be the theme right now. Not a lot of really short movies anymore.
Good.
They're all hanging around 114, 120 minutes long.
Good, because when I go and pay out nearly $10 to go to a movie theater, I don't want to be,
Right.
there it is. Oh, now it's done. But who would want to go to a movie theater right now? It's summer. You go to the drive-in.
You're like driving.
You get 2 movies for the price of 1.
Now, I do have one movie I want to talk about. I don't think it's on your list. It is a short movie, though. It's only 95 minutes. It is called Swiss Army Men.
Okay.
It's on your list?
No, it's not on my list.
Fantastic. This actually stars Daniel Radcliffe.
Of course.
It's a good movie. This is funny. It's a horror, comedy, adventure, musical movie. It's just every genre in one.
Okay.
All right, let me tell you about this movie. This is great. When I saw this trailer, I could not stop laughing, and then I cried.
And then you cried.
Then
really?
I cried.
Don't do
So
that.
it's about a guy who got deserted on an island. All right, so he's stuck on an island and he's trying to survive. He's like writing a diary of his days,
Yep.
All of a sudden, he looks out in the ocean, and this person is like washed upon shipwreck too.
Okay.
Gets it? It's Daniel Radcliffe. So he tries to heal him back to health, but Daniel Radcliffe has like lost all mental willness to move on to anything. All right, and Daniel Radcliffe has these like Swiss Army knife type abilities. He's got like you like raise one arm, the other one like chops through anything.
Okay.
All right, he's got like a gas that comes out of his rear side to help start fires.
Sounds like you after dinner.
So it's just it's an independent movie. I love my independent movies.
Exactly.
This is gonna be top of my list to rent when it comes out. I'm definitely gonna watch this movie. So pretty much the whole summer of this movie is a hopeless man stranded in the wilderness befriends a dead body, and together they go on a adventure to get home.
So at first, when you were talking about the beginning of this, where it's like this guy stranded and all that
Yeah.
stuff, all I was thinking was Tom Hanks' Castaway,
Castaway, yeah.
and then Daniel Radcliffe maybe as Wilson.
Right, exactly, yeah. But it's be that kind of movie. It's gonna be pretty funny, but I'm hoping it'd be like I'm hoping it'd be that kind of movie, you know? Mm-hmm. For an independent movie, I'm hoping it'd be that kind of movie.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those you're gonna have to wait to see streaming it or something like that, because that's the one
It's
thing.
gonna be in selected theaters,
Exactly.
which is too bad.
Where we live, it's hard to. I mean, the closest place to see these independent films is like New York City.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. And I think there's some in downtown Burlington, I think, but I don't know. But that's all I have for June 17th. Not sure if you have anything else.
no, my two big were Finding Dory and Central Intelligence.
All right. So let's move to June 24th.
Big day for me. Big day.
Huge day. I'm gonna start this off with Independence Day. So I think it's probably the biggest release of this day.
This is probably one of the top movies to see this summer.
Okay.
I think this is on everyone's list.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Because the first one came out, 20 years ago?
It was 20 years ago, yes.
Yep. Oh, we had assessments. When you started discussing
Yes.
it, we had.
Well, I mean, so the movie is starting up exactly where it left off. Starts off 20 years later, which makes sense. The movie first one came out 20 years, make it start 20 years later. What I thought was very interesting, what they did was, Independence Day and the U.S. Army made a commercial together. When you're watching this commercial, it seems like those typical join the Army National Guard kind of commercial. You have this guy talking about the war that he fought in 20 years ago, and now his daughter is recruited to become a defender of Earth. And all I'm thinking,
So it starts off like a commercial?
it is. This is an entire commercial.
So it's almost like Starship Troopers.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
Okay.
But you don't realize that it's a pun for Independence Day too.
All right.
So he's like, I've got to support her and everything she does defending the Earth. And I'm like, defending the Earth? This is an join the Army commercial. What are you talking about, defending the Earth? And then they show a newspaper clipping of Independence Day 1996 destroying the aliens. And I'm like, okay, when did we fight aliens? Da 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 da. And what war?
Oh, this is you thinking, you watching this
I'm
commercial.
watching this commercial. I'm
It's a
thinking
legit commercial.
exactly. Well, it is.
Oh,
It's for
gotcha.
both. That's the thing. It's for,
Okay.
It's a legit commercial to join the army, in like our U.S. Army.
Okay.
But then it's also a teaser trailer for Independence Day too.
Oh, that sounds fascinating.
So all I'm thinking to myself is, and I asked my dad, I go, "What war did we fight 20 years ago?" And aliens. So you're talking about like illegal aliens coming over or something, and all of a sudden
So you sitting there, legitimately thinking we fought
and
aliens?
I've watched
Oh,
this.
man.
I've watched this commercial like 5 times, thinking about this. I'm like, what the heck? And then we're thinking to each other, and aliens, and I'm like, Independence Day, and then we're like, okay, when did the movie come out? So I look up when the movie came out, 20 years ago. I pause it on that newspaper article, and all of a sudden the gears start
Oh,
turning.
man. It took you that long?
But what gets me is this is what was impressive with that movie is it made you think. This commercial, it makes you think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going in two different. It's that fork in the road, and it's bringing your mind in 2 different directions. It brought me to the Army side.
Right.
I mean, that's what made it so good. And I mean, I kind of wish they make commercials like that more often. Makes you actually watch the
That
thing.
seems like a pretty fun trailer. The trailer I saw, I was like, I'm not gonna watch this.
Really?
Yeah, the trailer I saw, maybe like, I don't think so. But I saw another one. The newest one that I saw, kind of put me back on track of wanting to see this movie.
Okay.
So, hopefully, it is just as good as the first one. I don't think it's going to be any better than the first one, but I'm hoping it'll kind of keep up the first one, because they didn't really do a lot of recasting. I mean, you have most of the original people in it.
Yeah, you have for new people, you have Liam Hemsworth.
Yep.
And then the kid who played Will Smith's stepson, it's not him now grown up 20 years later. It is someone different, but the character's still the same.
Yeah. What was it, Joey King?
I don't
I
remember
think
his
probably
name.
his name is, yeah.
but all the original cast from the first one, besides Will Smith,
Because Jeff Goldblum's in it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the president from then is Will Smith's wife that he marries. She comes back.
Oh, really?
Jeff Goldblum's father in the movie, he's back in it.
Oh, is he really?
Yes, majority of the cast from the very
I thought
first.
that guy passed away.
Nope. Majority of the cast from the very first movie is back in this movie. I even think the guy who played the president, his daughter, is in this.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the original one. I believe
nice.
she is. I think. I'm not positive. But great storyline, I think, in this. It makes sense to me. From what I've read, when we destroyed the aliens, before they all get destroyed, they send up a beacon to the mothership
Of course.
and basically saying we need help. And it makes sense that it's 20 years later because it takes a long time for signals to go through space. They show up.
20 years for it to go through space.
Well, it depends on where you are. In that 20-year span, we've taken the technology from the aliens and made like a world army. And we have bases on the moon, on Mars, set up around the Earth to...
I saw the base on the moon, and that looked pretty cool.
Because there's a scene in a trailer where some of our jets come out of a hangar, and they're like half our jets, half the alien fighter jets, which is pretty neat. The guy who played the president in the first one, he's now retired, obviously, and he goes to like Area 52 or whatever, Area 51, and he talks to one of the aliens who has their tentacles wrapped around him, so he probably is going to die.
Probably.
But yeah, and then there's this giant alien that comes landing down onto the planet I saw during the preview too. So I mean, they're talking about a bigger army and bigger aliens. So
Well, this movie is rated PG-13, like most of our movies these days, which is fine. You know, I don't have a running time for it though. I'm not sure if you do or not.
I don't have a running time now.
All right. More than likely, it's probably in the 120 minute
Oh, guarantee.
range. Yeah.
Let me just mention real quick too. The one person that is not in it, obviously, is Will Smith. I don't know the whole details, but from what I've seen,
Did find out. Is it going to spoil the movie at all? Do you think?
no, this won't. This shouldn't, because if you pay close attention to plot summaries that come out all the time for
A
things,
lot of people don't, Andy.
or if you pay attention to the trailer,
Okay.
you see that Will Smith's character is dead.
Okay.
They hopefully will explain it somehow, because what I saw in the trailer was a little photo, little memorial, and it shows him, and they're all kind of sad at the memorial.
Oh,
So
okay.
I wonder if he dies right off in the beginning, kind of thing.
I don't know. All right. There's a lot of movie comes out this day, huh? Let's move on to how about BFG?
I didn't have BFG down because it's something
Oh, you didn't?
I knew it comes out. I just didn't write about it. I thought you probably would. I just don't understand this movie.
Did you ever read the book?
No,
Okay, that's probably you don't understand.
that's
this
probably
movie.
why.
I read the book as a child, and I put something on the list for one reason. Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
He's directing this movie. So that's why it's
This
really
might be why
on
a
my
lot of
list.
people are so hyped for this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And probably exactly why. So here's the summary of the movie, okay?
Okay.
A girl named Sophie encounters the big friendly giant, who, despite his intimidation appearance, turns out to be the kind-hearted soul who considers an outcast by other giants because, unlike them, he refuses to eat children.
Okay.
So he's taking this outcast child because himself is an outcasted giant.
See, that's what I don't get. So he takes her from her home, and throughout this trailer that I've
Well,
watched,
she's an orphan.
okay, because he took. Oh, okay, that's I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah, she's an
I saw
orphan.
his hand come into her room and kind of
An orphanage.
pedophile-ish.
If you look at there's a bunch of beds all around her bed too.
Okay.
Because it's an orphanage.
See, that's what I see. I just see him. Oh,
And
girl.
also, he is the smallest of the giants.
Oh, okay.
So when he has her in his cave, you know, they're talking, they're playing around. He's like, "Quick, Sophie, hide!" It's because all the other giants are coming in, and he's
that-
like twice as small as the other giants.
Okay, so I saw that, and I thought, okay, he's just hiding her from other giants
Yeah.
for some reason, but
Yeah, because they all eat children.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
So we got a little Jack and the Beanstalk kind of thing.
kind of. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But that is the summary of Big Friendly Giant, which I'm surprised you don't have on the list. This, out of all the animated movies, is gonna probably make the most money because Steven Spielberg is directing it by far.
From what I saw in the preview and stuff, it looks like a Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
With the special effects and everything. So
Yep. This course, of course, it is rated PG. It has a running time of 115 minutes, which again, up there again, right?
Especially for an animation.
Yeah, but Steven Spielberg, he likes his long movies.
Mm-hmm.
Next on the list, let's go with how about The Purge? Election year.
I thought that was that's going into July now, right?
Oh, it got moved?
Yes, it's July 1st.
Ooh, it got moved. Okay, then let's cover that in July. How about Legend of Tarzan?
That I got July 1st too.
Yeah, July 1st too. I wonder if I deleted day. I bet you I did, because I had that. Okay. What else do you have for...
That I just had Independence Day for 24th.
Okay, I'm going to talk about one more movie, then we're moving to July, okay?
That's fine.
We have a lot of people who like their war movies, Andy, out there. I'm not sure if you're a big war movie buff at all.
It depends.
It depends. All right. This one is called Free State of Jones. Based in the Civil War times.
Yes.
It stars Matthew McConaughey. And that's what caught my eye. That stars him, you know? And a lot of people like it, like the Civil War times. So this movie should be represented on this list, I think.
Yes.
It's pretty much a Civil War divides a nation. A poor farmer from Mississippi leads a group of rebels against the Confederate Army. So it's me one of those kind of movies where it's not about the war, it's about a part of the war in a section of the country. So it should be kind of interesting.
The Civil War reenactment movies actually, I think, do much better than any of the other war movies out there, because for obvious reason, this is the time when our own country is split, and a lot of stuff happened. What makes this movie, from what I saw in the previews, is Matthew McConaughey, because I love his movies when he portrays this serious role.
Oh, yeah.
He can pull that out just amazingly. The funny stuff, is good too, but his serious roles, and I say this when I see like Morgan Freeman movies, for instance, it's the voice.
The voice, yeah, he's got a good voice.
You have that great voice that pulls you into the movie. Oh.
Yep, I completely agree with that.
I totally forgot about that movie.
Well, I'm glad I'm here to
Put
something.
Put me in shape.
All right, so got that out of the way. July 1st. You have to help me out with some dates because I think I messed up in July.
All right. Well,
All right.
You first said, let's get to this, The Purge election year.
Yes.
I've seen both the other Purges. Purge 1 and 2.
I have seen the first Purge. I have not seen the second Purge yet.
Second Purge, it's kind of almost like the first one.
Okay.
It's not that good. Compared to the first one, horrible. Reason I'm actually excited about this third one, election year, is because with the whole story of The Purge, where you get that one day where crime is legal, it's kind of one of those scary things where, okay, the nation, our own government, says go out and kill people.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. With the Purge election year, this lady who is trying to get elected as a senator, I believe, wants to end the Purge because she was a child during a Purge and lost her family. It looks like she's going to get it passed and everything, and then during the Purge, there's some other people in government that send these assassins basically out to kill her. And I think her and her bodyguard are trying to survive the night. That's where it makes this one a little different than the first two. Because the storyline isn't... It's the same with the whole Purge night, but it's got that little extra adaptation to it.
This movie is going to actually cement a great movie to help tie in the rest of them, you know? It kind of gives the whole trilogy a meaning, a purpose, which is good. It's good to do that with these kind of movies. Because if you just keep making Purge after Purge after Purge with nowhere to go, no direction, it's going to make a crap movie. This kind of reminds you of the Hunger Games, you know, where they have the Hunger Games once a year kind of thing, where you go out and you kill children. This time it's kill everybody.
Yeah. Because if they kept making it the same, it would have reminded me of like the Final Destination movies.
Yeah.
After a while, it's like, okay, I'm seeing the same thing. This, it's almost like you're getting a little backstory with it because, okay, we know the government elected the Purge. Well, maybe you get more backstory into why they did the Purge kind of thing in election year.
It ties in a good trilogy, a good backstory, and then it leads you to a place. That's what you need in a movie. You need a movie to lead you into a place. If you have no place to go, the movie is
crap.
Nothing. Exactly. It's nothing. So hopefully this will be good for the trilogy.
Exactly. Next one you mentioned was, I think, a big one people are excited about, The Legend of Tarzan.
Now, before we start this, is this the live action version of the Disney Tarzan?
That I really don't know from watching the trailer to me, it seems like it's more of after what happened in the jungle. Because what I've gotten in the trailer is you have Tarzan and his father and his mother when he was a baby in their little cabin up into the trees. His mother dies. His father is shown burying her and then gets killed by the gorillas. Then the gorillas find baby Tarzan. He grows up and then meets Jane, and Jane takes him back to England. He is now becoming an ambassador between the jungle and London kind of thing.
Yep.
And he comes back with these people, but come to find out, he's just being used as a pawn in this new villain's scheme to use Tarzan for greed and revenge. And it's weird because Tarzan's name is what's the villain in the animation? Clayton. He goes by John Clayton III.
Does he really?
Yes, which I don't know if that was maybe his father's name in the original Tarzan kind of too.
Interesting.
Maybe they just in the Disney movie took the Clayton name and made him into a villain.
Yeah, I'm looking at the IMDb page right now, and I'm not seeing Disney anywhere. It is rated PG-13, so I don't think it's the Disney's version.
It's probably not.
So which kind of tell me that I don't think Disney is going to do a live-action Tarzan movie with their live-action animation movies brought to life, you know? So they may skip out on that. The director, though, we should know the director. I do. David Yates. He directed about 3 or 4 of the Harry Potter films, too.
Okay.
So,
Makes sense because in the trailer it says from the director of Harry Potter's and the Deathly Hallows.
Yeah. Yeah, David Yates did a lot of the Harry Potter stuff, which is...
It's
I like his directing style. It's pretty good, so it should be a pretty good movie.
It makes sense now because when you're watching the trailer, it is a very dark movie when you watch the trailer.
Yeah.
My whole thing is, how quick is it going to be showing from when he was a baby with the gorillas to when he meets Jane going to London? Are we going to have just a very quick snap? Because that's what I think it's going to be of him growing up. Because most of what you see in the trailer is him in London and coming back to the jungle with Jane.
It's David Yates. So here's what he's going to do. All right? He's going to show Tarzan in London. Mm-hmm. And then he's going to tell the story of a backstory of how he was in the jungle raised and brought back to London.
Could make sense.
And then we're going to go back to the island after that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's London, island, London, island. It's how we're going to see this movie play out.
So we'll probably see maybe, like in Man of Steel, a lot of the flashbacks.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a lot of flashbacks, but we're going to see like 1 or 2, I bet.
Okay.
That's what I think we're going to see. And also we should point out the star in this movie, too. Margaret Robbie.
Yes, she plays Jane.
Yep. Who else she play?
What, in other movies?
Yeah.
You know, obviously, we'll get to it. Suicide Squad.
Thank you.
She was in The Wolf of Wall Street with Leo DiCaprio.
Yep.
That's where she got her big break right there.
Nice job.
She's actually one of the higher, like how you have The Rock, for instance. Dwayne Johnson is that highest paying actor. She's actually making her way up in the actress category.
She's doing good.
A lot of people want her. Might be on this year's Nerdy
And
Awards.
also, here's why I brought her up. Because Nick Fury's in this movie, too.
Yes, he is. Sam Jackson is in this movie. Not a big role in this movie.
He doesn't need a big role.
But, yeah. I think he has a fight scene in it with Tarzan because he has the guns. He's going guns a-blazing.
That'd be cool.
So.
But, yeah, we like our Sam Jackson. All right, what else do you have for July 1st?
I have nothing after that.
Okay. Do you have July 8th down?
No, I don't.
You have nothing for July 8th?
My next one's the 15th.
15th. All right, I have 2 for July 8th. And we won't cover them very long. We'll just do a quick skip on them. First one is The Secret Life of Pets. It's an animated movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know too much about this movie at all because I'm kind of sick of
all it is
animation movies that are not done by, Disney or by Pixar Studios.
All it is the quick recap. It's what happens when us, the human people, leave to go out for the day and the pets are left home alone. What do they actually do?
Okay, that sounds kind of cute.
That's what it is. I think we know what your dog does. He just sits there and licks his butt.
Yes, I do. All right, so next one I have Mike and Dave need wedding dates.
Yeah.
So you know about this one too?
Yeah, I maybe
Okay.
saw the preview once. I could care less.
I brought because the Efron's in it, and that guy is golden right now. Honestly, it's two brothers place an online ad to find dates for a wedding, and then the ad goes viral. So it's gonna be one of those raunchy comedies, but it should be kind of entertaining for people who like comedies.
Like the Efron.
And here is why: because it's rated R, not PG-13. So they're gonna take that next step to what people find funny and raunchy.
Exactly.
July 15th.
Oh, we could probably skip this one. The remake of the all-female Ghostbusters.
Do you really think it's a remake? Or do
It-
you think it's just like a
No, I
take place after the original Ghostbusters?
from what I've read, it's a remake.
Okay.
The only good thing about this is they have what's the green ghost name? Slimer.
Yeah.
That's the only good thing about it. I've seen in the previews the way the ghosts look, and they kind of look stupid.
They kind of look like the Haunted Mansion, don't they? The Eddie Murphy movie.
Exactly.
That's exactly what they look
I
like.
mean, I'm not a Melissa McBride fan, anyways. I could really care less about this movie.
Miss McCarthy.
What's her name? Yeah, did I say Melissa McCarthy? Right?
No, you said Britt McBride.
I did. Okay, my bad. You know what I meant.
I know what you meant, and that's all movies I have in July 15th too. is
Same here.
Ghostbusters. You know, I don't know why they would do this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You know, they could have made the movie 10 times better by making this the Ghostbusters 3 movie, by having these ladies be the daughters of the original Ghostbusters. That would solve everything.
Yep.
It would solve everything. Because Dan Aykroyd is making a cameo in this movie. We don't know why now, because apparently this is a whole new universe. And Bill Murray's making a cameo. We don't know why. It's a whole new universe. It makes no sense.
And the funny thing with this is, from what I've read, next year we're getting another Ghostbusters remake, and what they're doing is they're bringing all the men back, kind of thing, but they're obviously recast with one of your favorites, Channing Tatum. So,
Oh, is this a little rumor you heard?
no, this is what I've actually read.
Really?
It's like 2017 or 18, the male Ghostbusters comes out.
I'm bad.
It's just kind of stupid.
It is.
I'm tired of it. Let's move on.
Let's do that. July 22nd. Is that what you have?
Yep,
Perfect. I'm going to start off with Star Trek Beyond.
exactly.
Because the first two, wow. I enjoyed them both. Mm-hmm. I really did. I think Justin Lin did the other ones too, didn't he? No.
Yes. Yeah.
J.J. Abrams.
Abrams did the first one. I don't know if he did the second one. I thought it was Lin.
It might have been Lin. But it doesn't matter because Lin is directing, and that guy is a great director anyways. We were actually talking this earlier about the
Villains.
villain, and they have not released that, which is fantastic. Why spoil a great trilogy so far?
Basically, the whole plot concept that is out there right now, it basically just says it's set 2.5 years after the second one, because at the end of the second one, they begin their 5-year voyage.
Yep.
So it's set 2.5 years later, and they basically, it shows in the preview, they get attacked, and they get stranded on an unknown planet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they don't even really show you all it is these little spaceships kind of attacking the Enterprise. I mean,
Fantastic. I love that concept.
I mean, you had an idea because you said the first two movies literally have been chronological order
Yeah.
of how the Star Trek series.
It's going
went.
to change it up a little bit because Kirk was, he was fine at the end of the movie, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the original movies, it was Spock that sacrificed his life, and then he was sent out, torpedo style, his coffin onto a planet, which happened to be Genesis.
Because
Kirk, because it's finding Spock, So, I mean, and then the villains was the Klingons. So they might bring the Klingons back for this movie, because we have not. I don't think we've seen them yet in the first two.
yeah, because it was what's his name in the second one, Kong or
Khan.
yeah, and Ka, and in the first one it was those the green people from the future.
Yeah. So we might see the Klingons in this.
They did get a reference in the second one actually, because what's the female role's name? Her name, Lieutenant Solo, or no, the Solo is the Chinese
Yeah.
guy, but she has to go on a voyage, and because she knows Klingon.
Okay.
So it might
So that
be.
might be the reference to the third movie of the Klingons being in there. So that makes sense.
So
That totally makes sense. But Chris Pine is just amazing in this movie, right?
Mhm.
He does a great Kirk. I'm really enjoying Carl Urban as Bones too. It's just the casting's perfect in this entire movie.
and I know they will make reference from what I've seen in the trailer of Kirk's father again. So,
Oh, right on.
so we'll get that. But let's move on. We're running out of time here.
Oh man, we have so much to go.
The other one, the 22nd I have, one of your all-time favorite that you've said of animations, Ice Age 5,
Oh
Collision
man,
Course.
I love the Ice Age movies. It's so great.
I mean, we could go through this really quick. It's just the little squirrel dude. I forgot what his name
Scrat.
is. Scrat. He goes after his acorn,
Acorn.
and he's in a spaceship. He flies out.
Yeah, he falls down into an ice pit, and he's trying to like jab the acorn inside
Almost looks like a
an
nutcracker.
ice thing, and the ice breaks, and it's like goes into a ship. It's good stuff.
And he flies out there, but there's apparently a giant meteor heading for Earth. So
Yep.
everyone's running away from the meteor.
It's gonna be so funny.
So that's Ice Age 5. Moving on to what I would say this is your most anticipated movie of the summer. July 29th, Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never watched the Bourne movies. From what I've seen in the trailer, he now has his full memory back. And he's trying to protect, I forgot what
Julia
this,
Stiles.
yeah, from the government
Yep.
in this.
Tommy Lee Jones in it, which should be fantastic.
Yep.
It's gonna be another great movie, man. I mean, Matt Damon does such a great job with these movies.
I haven't watched the Bourne movies. I've watched bits and pieces, but from what I've seen, he is amazing.
He
in these,
really is. Now they did another one with Jeremy Renner.
which sucked.
It wasn't bad. It just, for me, I didn't really understand it too much.
It didn't make any sense to be in
Yeah.
the series.
And the ending of the movie was just absolutely terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm huge with ending of movies.
Yep. But Jason Bourne, what do you expect? You expect this to break some records?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, this is coming back from a while. Everyone's been wanting Matt Damon back in the Bourne movies. So.
Yeah, I think it's gonna break a lot of records.
think- Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think it's going to do what Tom Cruise did coming back to Mission Impossible.
It could.
When people just went with
Yeah.
Mission Impossible,
Yep.
it's going to do the same thing with Jason Bourne.
Absolutely could. Yep.
So, moving on to August.
Well,
Unless you
hold
had
on,
any-
hold
you have
on. I
anything
have one
else?
more I want to talk to you about this one. Another comedy called Bad Moms.
Yeah, with
Uh,
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis, Kristen Bell, and Jada Pinkett Smith is in this too. Mm-hmm. It's just a weird comedy about always good moms, sick of being good moms, and want to be the bad mom for once, and do little like unhealthy things and those kind of shenanigans.
It's true. What's good about this movie is it's yeah, we can see it too, but it's good for all the females out there. When you usually get these kind of movies, it's like for guys or something like that, like
This
The
right
Hangover.
here is bridesmaids with moms.
Exactly.
That's all this movie's gonna be, and that's all they need. It's
But that's
gonna be funny.
it's kind of good. It's attracting the female groupies.
Yep.
So you ready for August?
Let's do it.
Okay, we've talked about it. We can go pretty quickly through it. Suicide Squad. I actually haven't seen any more trailers for this for a while.
Oh, that's because
I'm kind of shocked. But yeah, I mean, we really don't have to go over Suicide Squad. We've gone over it so much in the past.
Yep.
I do want to see it when it comes out. I will probably go see it. But
Any more thoughts about Jared Leto? What do you think?
that's the
Get your
one-
nay for the
that's the
Joker.
nay.
Nay.
Just he looks stupid. So, moving on. You have anything else for before the 12th of August?
Before the 12th? I do, but we can move on. We're kind of running
Big
out.
one for me is Pete's Dragon, the remake of the Disney animation. Wicked excited because I was a little kid watching this back when I had the VHS version. I have my nitpicks with it, but it looks pretty good, I think.
Are they going musical with it?
I haven't seen any musical in the trailers or anything. I don't think they will, because Disney in the live actions really are moving away from the musical part that I've seen so far in the first two Disney animations to live action movies.
Okay.
So I
see
don't
that
think so.
Carl Urban's in this cast.
Did not know that.
Okay, so you have no idea what he's
No,
playing.
I saw what's her
I
name?
wonder if he's going to be the voice for the dragon.
Maybe the chick from Jurassic World. She's in this,
Yep.
and
Oh, Wes Bentley's in this too.
I forgot who's the old guy.
Robert Redford.
Yes, He's in
too.
this. So
This actually looks like a pretty good cast.
I mean, the dragon, from what I've seen, I'm like, but it's live action. It's not supposed to look cartoonish.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
In the movie, it was a live action movie with an animation dragon. So my whole nitpick is the kid. He looks like the Jungle Book kid almost. In the movie, he's fully clothed, kind of in his overalls. This kid looks like he's just wearing the little Jungle Book little man ape thing.
Right. Right.
So I can't wait to see it. So for me, I only have 2 more in August. Max Steel.
Max Steel?
Could really care less.
Okay.
Really wasn't a big fan of the
It was
cartoon.
a Disney animated movie, right? Or
Exactly.
show.
Exactly.
Okay.
The big one for me is the Mechanic Resurrection.
Ooh, yeah. Yep.
Statham. Stars Statham. His girlfriend is played by Jessica Alba.
That's August 26th, right?
August 26th.
All right.
And Tommy Lee Jones, I don't know if he's the villain. I would think so. Basically, Statham's character retires from being an assassin, and then his villain in the movie kidnaps Jessica Alba's character and gives him 3 impossible assassination missions to complete to save her life.
Huh. Fascinating.
If it's as good as the first Mechanic, I'm going to love it. Because the first one was an amazing movie.
Yeah, it was. We have like 5 minutes left.
Yeah, about that.
Let me go over a couple in August, not in any order. Adult comedy animated movie. Only adults should see this. Sausage Party.
Sounds like an adult movie.
It is. It is definitely an adult movie.
Is it like Bachelor Party
It's
kind
a
of?
Seth Rogen film.
Oh, geez, there you go.
Seth Rogen film, and James Franco's gonna be in it with Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
So that's say from there. If you guys like shows like Supernatural, check out Spectral. It's a great ops movie where they send an ops team for supernatural hunting. So that should be a really interesting movie in October as well. And then there's a couple more horror movies and a couple of remakes like Ben-Hur for people who like the religious movies types. Ben-Hur's a remake, so they can check that one out too. And yeah, I think that would be it. I'll set a list up on our Facebook account later for the whole list of what we did and the ones that we didn't cover today.
We got a couple minutes here to spare. If you had to name, what do you think's your biggest movie or two that you really want to see this summer?
I really want to see this summer. Star Trek is definitely up on that list. A few others are I might take my kids to see Ice Age maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, for them.
The reason I ask is because we haven't done it for a while, so in case some fans wonder, we haven't done the top 5.
We haven't really done top 5 in a while.
Problem is, we've almost run out of time lately, the last
And
couple shows.
Shows have been packed lately. We've been great topics.
And I mean, sometimes we take a long time trying to figure out this. For me, if I had to choose, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. And, what was it? Suicide Squad for August, really, for me. And Star Trek for July is a big one. Also, Independence Day. I mean,
If you're buying the tickets, I'll see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. My top list is probably Now You See Me Too and Star Trek.
well, this is why I was saying it's summer. Why go to the movie theater when I can go to the drive-in? And you got Now You See Me 2 and TMNT 2 around the same
night.
exactly.
Maybe I'll go.
I mean, right now I really wanted to go see. It was from our spring movies. Angry Birds is playing right now. I still want to see Angry Birds. That and Neighbors 2 to go see the Efron again.
Right.
So, I mean, for me, it's a big summer. Not as big, I think, as last year, but we still have some good movies to go out and see. So, anything you'd like to add for the summer movies?
Like I said, I'll put them on the Facebook tonight with the ones I didn't cover. I have like 4 or 5 more movies that we just didn't cover.
The problem is there are a lot of lower budget movies,
Which I enjoy, you know?
which are good. They become cult classics too. So that's it for our summer movies, everybody. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Remember, like always, you can see this episode and every one of our 32 other episodes, I
32
believe,
episodes.
on our Facebook page at Legends of the Nerds or on our YouTube page, also at Legends of the Nerds. Don't forget, we're on the Twitter.
The Twitter.
Follow this guy right here every day at KrillinMan on Twitter. And Comic-Con's coming up pretty soon. We can't wait to see everybody out there in a couple months. Hopefully everything goes well for us that we're hoping.
Hopefully.
So remember, everyone out there in Nerdland, stay nerdy.